there yet. Oh no, it's one of those apes. Be careful, Agatha. Stay down.
Don't click away, because I need your help in encouraging grandparents to stay mentally active through gaming. Thanks for joining the mission at Gaming for Grandparents. And please let your grandparents know it is free to subscribe. So let's get into this video and see how many grandparents we can help. Welcome to part 3 of Dark City International Intrigue. As this is a story adventure game, you will want to watch part 1 and part 2 because you're coming into the middle of this video or this game. And I got this game from bigfishgames.com. So we left off with talking to the librarian after her examination of the gargoyle. So once again, we have one of these picture matches the paragraph type of puzzle. So we're starting to wrap up the mystery of Perry.
A Parisian scientist named Elaine Arnaud helped with the investigation. We learned that the gargoyle was a bird in an elaborate costume. A flash of light damaged the bird's eyes and hypnotized its mind. Elaine, on the other hand, invented a harmless light for taking photos. Someone must be trying to frame Elaine for this. But why? A stranger recently offered to buy her research, but he sent her threatening letters after she turned him down. Could this stranger be the one we're looking for? Is there a chance he's also the HJ from the case in New York? He's interested in Elaine's invention, so we need to prepare for a potential attack at the exhibition.
As incredible as it seems, there are undeniable parallels in both cases. Whoever you're pursuing could also be behind the gargoyle and the person who threatened Elaine. The criminal may try to steal the invention at the presentation. Elaine's flash technology is different and more powerful than what came before. If he was able to hypnotize a bird, Elaine's invention could allow him to hypnotize people. We need to get into the exhibition and find a way to catch him. We're here. The criminal may show himself soon, so we should look around for a good place for an ambush. I'll blend in with the crowd to keep an eye on Elaine in case of an attack. See if you can climb onto the balcony of the adjacent building to get a better view of the stage. If someone tries to attack Elaine, you'll be the first to notice.
So now I have to complete all the puzzles in order to get up to the balcony. A little bit of hidden objects game, a little bit of matching game, and of course finding things.
Good evening. My name is Elaine Arnaud, and I'm presenting my new invention tonight.
It's him! We must catch him! Oh no! Elaine!
So based on that animation, we did not protect her, we did not prevent the theft, and we did not catch the bad guy.
We were right to expect an attack during Elaine's performance, but I didn't expect a bold, direct approach from the crowd. Unfortunately, the perpetrator used flammable powder, but at least that proves his connection to the events in New York. He stole Elaine's invention and escaped while I rushed to help her. She suffered because of his actions, and I did what I could to help her.
The criminal used flammable powder to blind and distract us, just like the powder Liz mentioned in her letter. It all adds up, Agatha. This is your criminal. Elaine is unconscious, but I will try to bring her around. Can you put out the fire on the stage before it destroys any potential clues?
It's funny to have to do puzzles to put out fires. But at least the wonderful Frenchman is helping the lady recover from her ailment. You better keep your nose out of other people's business, Detective Agatha. Friendly advice from Dr. Jekyll.
Strange. The note is signed Dr. Jekyll. But that can't be. He's been locked in a prison in London for 10 years. Maybe HJ is his accomplice on the outside. Anyway, I don't think Dr. Jekyll is in Paris. But you should go to London and talk to my friend, Inspector Lestrade. He was in charge of the Dr. Jekyll case. I'll write to him and ask him to meet you at the station. Now that this HJ has the device, I think he's going to return to his accomplice. I'm going to stay here and help the police round up the rest of the gargoyles. Good luck, Agatha. I'm sure you can crack this case.
Good evening, Agatha. My name is Gregory Lestrade. I have a taxi waiting, so I suggest we discuss your case in the car. I like your style, Agatha. You arrive from Paris and get straight to business. Well, Dr. Jekyll's arrest was one of my biggest cases. You can familiarize yourself with the details during the ride.
Dr. Jekyll was an obscure London scientist. His career in science wasn't successful, and he was almost unknown in the scientific community. He began to gain fame thanks to the theory that it is possible to control the consciousness of living beings. None of his colleagues believed him or took the doctor seriously. At first, Dr. Jekyll experimented on animals, in particular monkeys, but soon he was arrested for the murder of an innocent London, resident of London. The investigation found that he died as a result of one of the experiments.
As one of London's chief inspectors, I'll support your investigation as much as I can. Whoever this HJ is, his reign of terror must be stopped. Why are we stopping? We're not there yet. Oh no, it's one of those apes. Be careful, Agatha. Stay down. Are you all right? Crazed animals keep attacking people. Some people say that a curse is turning people into monsters, but others believe it's a virus. I'm actually investigating the case right now. Unfortunately, neither of our cases will get anywhere with the car in this state. It appears the driver got scared and ran off. But don't worry, I know enough about cars to fix it, as long as I have the tools. Maybe you could look around for some tools while I check the engine?
So we're going to do a bunch of mini puzzles in order to find the tools needed to fix the car so that we can get on our way.
Good evening. It's good to see you. This is Agatha, a detective from New York. We're here to question Dr. Jekyll. We suspect his involvement in an international crime.
Hello, Inspector. I'd be happy to help you, but I'm afraid that Dr. Jekyll recently died of a heart attack. There's simply no way he's involved. I saw the body myself. We still have his things. You're free to inspect his cell and review his files here in my office. I have to begin my daily rounds, but you're welcome to look at whatever you need.
Well, Agatha, I suppose our plans have changed. I can help you look around if you'd like. Maybe we'll still find something useful for your investigation.
So it's time to start hunting for things. Attacks of angry animals continue. Who or what is behind this? A curse that turns people into monsters and a new rabies virus. New details of the London attacks. So at the beginning of every scene, you'll click on different areas, but you don't have the clue to open it. You don't have all the pieces to open it. You don't have all the parts to solve it. So there's a lot of back and forth, clicking back and forth, clicking back and forth between the different areas until you get everything you need to be able to solve these puzzles. Attached to this jail cell is Dr. Jekyll's former cell. Apparently, he has passed away. So we have a hidden object puzzle here, or an HOP, that we have to put together to get the clues. And of course, find things to get the clues and move on to the next scenes. This is one of those tricky puzzles where you actually have to put them in order of the oldest to the newest instead of the newest to the oldest. And so it has to follow those lines. So I literally had to figure out which piece was next, until I got through that. Dear Diary, while in prison, I often think and remember my son Hyde, and I am tormented by the question, what happened to my boy? What could I have missed? From an inquisitive child dreaming a career as a scientist, he began to turn into a closed, embittered person. All the same, I couldn't be a good father for him. And now we have a second one of those. Put it in the order of oldest to newest, or whatever order it's requesting here. Having matured a little, he became my partner, and together we performed various experiments on monkeys, including flash hypnosis. Using this technology, an accidental discovery could be a revolutionary in science, but Hyde wanted to go further and control people's minds. At all conferences, he was refused, rudely excluded, and this only increased his anger. Secretly from me, he conducted an experiment on a man which ended in his death. The subject could not withstand the influence on his consciousness. When the police knocked on our door, I realized what Hyde had done, but I couldn't let him go to jail. He's my son. I took all the blame. In prison, I'll continue my research. So you can take a little break from everything. There were enough known materials for the Flash to control the minds of the monkeys for a short time, even causing them aggression and directing it. But the human mind is much more powerful. We need a new technology for Flash, brighter and more powerful. Father, he has been called a madman every year at the most famous scientific conferences in London, Paris, and New York. They all made fun of me. Nothing with your formula. I can prove to them that he is a real genius, and they will pay for the humiliation. So we continue to look in this prison cell for all the items that we need to be able to move on to the next scene. Agatha, this is your last warning. Stop. Drop the case. You still can't stop me. I'm a few steps ahead of you. I already have all of my father's records. It only remains to strike the final blow, and the world will have to recognize me as the greatest genius in history. And another portrait matches the paragraph challenges.
I arrived in London confident that meeting Dr. Jekyll would bring me closer to solving the case. But it turns out that he's not only dead. He wasn't a criminal. The real killer is his son, Hyde Jr., or HJ. He's guilty of a crime that happened 10 years ago. And now he's stolen his father's research and Elaine's invention and conducted dangerous tests with flammable powder. Hyde's crimes are a cocktail of revenge against the cities that ridiculed him. London should be his final target. He's going to combine his father's powder and Elaine's invention to hypnotize the town people. And all just to prove his unrecognized genius.
Doesn't he look like Loki from the Marvel movies?
Dr. Jekyll's son, Hyde, was behind it all, but he disappeared right after his father's arrest. These animal attacks around London may be connected to him and his experiments. As I recall, Dr. Jekyll's experiments tried to influence the minds of primates, and we were attacked by one ourselves just today. The London Zoo is the only nearby place where one could find those animals. I'll ask the warden some questions and then go to the police station and update my report. I think you should follow this lead to the zoo. Perhaps the employees know something.
Good evening. I'm sorry, but the zoo doesn't accept visitors this late. Oh, you're here about the attacks. My name is Catherine. I'd like to help you, but it's getting late, and the animals haven't been fed because the food supplier hit a delay on the bridge. If you help me feed the animals, we could finish in time for me to answer your questions.
Happy birthday, son. I hope you have a good time at the zoo with your friends. With this ticket, you can feed all the animals. The London Zoo is looking for a specialist for the position of veterinarian. London Zoo denies all allegations of involvement in recent animal attacks in the city. The London Zoo invites locals and tourists to get acquainted with the unique animals, monkeys, tigers, raccoons, and parrots. We will finish up feeding all the animals so that we can speak with that employee.
Thank you for your help. The zoo isn't involved in the attacks. We keep our animals safe, secure, and healthy. In fact, all of our primates are at the vet clinic right now. The new vet took them in for regular checkups. I can give you his address if that helps. The address should be in the ticket office. If you'll excuse me, I have to track down a raccoon that got out. There's never a dull moment. You can use the map on the information stand to find the way to the clinic.
And I think we will end part 3 here. And the last part will be part 4. If you haven't seen part 1 and part 2, you can click this playlist to be able to see those. Thanks for joining me on this hidden puzzle story-based adventure game. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. I really want to encourage grandparents to stay mentally active through gaming. I want to mentally challenge them with strategy games and task management games and creative games like Minecraft. So if you appreciate my effort in trying to encourage your grandparents to stay mentally young, please let them know about this channel and let them know it is free to subscribe. There's no cost. And again, thanks for watching Gaming for Grandparents.